Hey, this is the episode 1 of the Econoline camper build. Behind me here is a 1994 Ford Econoline E-350. It's a high-top van with fiberglass high top. This is a 1-ton van with the beefier suspension. Let's do a walk around and give you guys an overview of the van. This is how I picked it up. This is as is. It's in pretty good shape. It's a low mileage van. This van has 60,000 miles on it, or maybe it's 61. We'll hop in a second and check it out. Overall, pretty straight. As we get to the other side here, I'll point out a small body spot that needs to be repaired. It looks like the previous owner had bumped into something up there and did a repair job. That is something that I'm going to want, that high top is something I'm going to want to repaint. Otherwise, we've had some good rains here lately and I've seen no leaks inside the van. So the seal is good. It just has seen better days as far as the paint goes. And here on the side, maybe you could tell right there, that door is dented in. It's actually, there you can see it pretty good. Left a mark there. And it looks like someone previously tried to pull out the dent and drilled with one of those plunger devices. But the one downside to this, obviously the dent, but the mechanism inside here no longer works, so I'm gonna have to buy the new hardware inside the door. And it's got the high top, the high bay side doors, the barn style side doors, which I do like. I do like those doors. And then the back side, pretty straight, no real issues. At one time it did have a Club Wagon logo on it, emblem. And I see it is set up for wired for towing, but I don't see a tow bar. And so that's one thing I'm gonna have to buy, is a hitch for it, because I do have this cargo trailer that I'd like to pull with it. And while we're here at the driver's door, something I wanted to show you guys is this door sticker. I'm not an expert with Fords. Right here it says it's a bus, which is weird, not a school bus. And if you know what that means, does it mean it's got beefier suspension? What's the difference? I've looked it up, I can't figure it out. I thought this would have said 350. If you pull up this VIN here, it shows that the van is a 351 ton. So I'm not sure what the factory means by this being a bus. It does have the Windsor 351 engine in it. And I did just replace this. It came, when I got the van, it did not have the armrest pad. I just put it on. And I noticed that's cracked, but let me start it up. I want to show you guys the mileage. $61,732. This is the 94, I think 92 to 96. They came with this style of doghouse. There's no cup holders. So that's one thing I'm going to figure out is how to get cup holders in here. I know from my research, I don't think the later models doghouse fits here. So I'm kind of limited. It's going to have to be some aftermarket thing. I might be able to pull this off. This was a wheelchair van. Let's check out the back here. And I did pull that armrest off. I'm making a repair on it. That last bolt, the plastic's cracked and it was kind of loose. So I'm have it in the house. I'm super gluing it. Here's the seats, both sides ripped at the seams. And this is a very base line van. It just came with the AM radio. Obviously the manual windows, the no carpeting. It's got the rubber flooring. It does have AC and it is R134A, which is great for it being a 94. But here's the wheelchair ramp. This was in the van as I got it. I'm obviously pulling this out and I'll put it up for sale. I don't need it. It's a Braun wheelchair ramp. Some of the restraints here for it. It does have one bench seat. This bench seat seats 4. There's 4 seat belt assemblies here. As you can see, this van's very filthy. I'll get it cleaned up. Let me give you an overall view of the high top. So I'm standing up. I'm 5'8", and as you can see, my head, when I push up on this fabric, I have maybe like an inch or so of clearance. So pushing up on it, I think it's probably a 5'10" standing room. I'm going to remove all this stuff. I think it looks like trash. And in the back, you can see the panel's already been torn down. And in between where the panel was and here, there's like an extra 3 or 4 inches of space. So all this is coming down. Here's the amount of space behind the seat, maybe 1.5 feet, 18 inches approximately. The van's really in good shape. I mean, you can tell it's a low mileage van. That the plastic molding is all in good shape. These side windows do tilt out, and then the door windows do tilt out. So I don't have it totally fleshed out on what I'm going to do with this van. I am going to turn it into a camper, not a total van life. I don't want to live in this van, but I do want to take extended trips, maybe up to a week in the van, maybe just a weekend. You'll notice that the van, all the cargo area of the van does have rubber matting, good heavy duty, I'd say that's a 1/2 inch thick rubber matting, and below that is a subfloor, plywood 1/2 inch subfloor. Hard to see. There's a lot of grease here from this wheelchair ramp, or yeah. But that's kind of nice. I'm going to leave this rubber flooring in. I don't mind it. It's easy to spray down and clean up. If you're tracking dirt or debris in here, it'd be real easy to spray down. I'm not a fan of the putting house style flooring in these vans. I just want to use this for camping. If I'm on the road, I want to be able to sleep in it. My wife and I, our kids, it'd be nice to have a place where we could pull over and sleep. So I'm not gonna I'm thinking I don't want, things like countertops. They just take up space. I'm more into implementing the seating that is here and figuring out a way to turn this bench seat so that it maybe folds down into a bed. I know you can buy the hinge that will attach here. It doesn't feel like there's oh, here's a frame. Yeah, so I can feel a frame here. Possibly it'll work, I don't know. It's just going to take some research. I do want to build a permanent bed back here though. So what I'm thinking is move this seat up forward in the van to where the original third row seat was, which will give me a little over 4 feet of width. And then you won't believe this, these vans, from this window to that window, that's 6 feet. I'm only 5'8", so we can sleep east to west in these vans. My wife is shorter than I am. So if we have 4 foot north to south behind that seat when I move it up, and 6 feet this way, that's a decent amount for us to sleep on. And if I can convert this bench seat to fold down into a bed, that's a spot for 2 more kids. Maybe get the kabunk system and get 2 more spots. Possibly get this van to sleep 6 people, which would be great. One of the downsides of getting a baseline van is the seats don't even have armrests. So if I keep those seats, I'm going to have to upgrade that. Get some aftermarket armrests. But yeah, this is it. If you're into these ideas, this van, you want to watch this van progress into a camper van, make sure and subscribe. I'm going to drop videos as I do work to the van. I think in the immediate future I need to get new tires on this, and so one of the first things you're probably going to see with this van is a new set of tires and rims. I'll kind of shop around and see which ones I think would go good with this van. It's that dark green color, so it's hard to decide what rims would look best with that color. I also, one of the other first projects I will do is build that bed in the back, move that seat forward. So there will be another video or 2 drops of me doing that and how I'm building it. And then you'll get an overview of when it's all done. So yeah, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and I'll see you soon.